Are you somebody who's organized, loves to recycle, and has a good sense of right and wrong, a good moral compass? Are you sometimes overly critical and judgmental of other people? Do you like social justice and are really uncomfortable when wrongs are being done to anybody? Well, then you might be a type 1, the reformer. The type 1 reformer refers to the Enneagram, which is a graph of 9 personality types, each one with a specific trait that shows how we relate or respond to the world around us. The Enneagram Type 1s are often described as people who go around cleaning up the world. They really don't like anything that is unorganized or messy. And for a healthy one, what really satisfies them is something that's meaningful. They only like to do meaningful work. So whether they're in the church or maybe they're very politically savvy, ones want to be in a good position, a good moral position. They are often referred to as the perfectionists because most of the time that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to perfect themselves and the people that they love the most. And sometimes they're trying to perfect the people that they love just comes off as criticism. And so a lot of ones are misrepresented in the way that people think that they're judgmental and critical, and they can be, but especially their inner circle of friends and family who they hold up to a higher standard. Even they hold themselves up to twice as high a standard as they are to the people around them. You know, I've lived with ones, I've had friends who are ones, and I'm pretty sure my stepdad is a one. And all of them have the same thing in common, which is that they want to be good. They really want to be a good person. They want to be good in whatever, usually it's some type of religion, good in the eyes of God, or just a good person top to bottom, you know, whatever they can do to be a good person. That's what they're afraid of, is being defective or being bad in some way. And so a lot of the times they are passive aggressive because they're trying to avoid somebody calling their character negative. They don't want to be put in a negative spot. One of their other deepest fears, besides being that they're a bad person, is that they're not good enough. They struggle with that. I'm not good enough. I want to get better. I want to be the best person I could possibly be. And that is a fallacy. I mean, you cannot be the perfect person. You can't be the best person, the good person. You're going to mess up. You're going to have hard times and you're going to struggle. And that's what ones really need to wrap their head around, is that you will make mistakes, and it's not that not making mistakes is the goal. It's making the right mistakes and learning from them. And that's honestly all you can do, as long as you're living your life truthfully and, you know, functionally. If you make a mistake along the way, you know, that's all you need to know. I think one should take a note from Alan Watts, the philosopher. Alan Watts goes on and talks a lot about virtue and how you see virtue. And in today's world, we hear virtue signaling a lot. That's like a buzzword. But he kind of talks about virtue signaling. And what he says is that virtue, true virtue, is not conscious of itself. So you referring to yourself as virtue can't be virtuous because virtue isn't aware of itself. And this is something that ones really need to get a hold of. If you are truly virtuous, you would think that you're not virtuous. That's the only way that you can, the kind of cognitive dissonance that you need in order to grow as a one. Once ones get going and they can grow and they can stop being so judgmental and judging people and trying and understanding that they can't possibly fix the world. There's no way to fix the world. You can't fix everybody. You can't or straighten out everybody who's wiggly. You have to just allow. Once they can connect with that 9-wing, and the 9-wing is defined by being, just being in the present moment. Once they can connect with that 9-wing and just relax and stop doing and observe and sit back and take in, that really is what one needs in order to be successful. A one with a 9-wing is a very strong, confident, and reserved person. The 9 is all about peace and peacekeeping and observation and being. Once they get a hold of their own anger. They can act intentionally and use that fire that they have for wanting to clean up and replace it. Instead of with anger, they use it with purpose, and they can replace that anger with purpose and be some of the most influential people of all time. Some famous people that are ones are Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, people like this who really went out on a limb and stood up for social justice where it needed change. And obviously these people aren't bad. They're really healthy ones and really developed ones. And that's the kind of one that everybody should aspire to be. Just for fun, some ones that are in movies would be Superman as a healthy one, and as an unhealthy one, it would be Thanos. Thanos is also one. He's morally trying to change the universe for the better, and he thinks it's his right, but he's also arrogant about it, and he uses his moralistic ideology to inflict it on other people instead of being purposefully driven to do something. He thinks he's right, he thinks he's just, he looks down on everybody else who doesn't think the way he does, and it's a perfect example of a one gone horribly wrong, mad with power. The one is identified with masculine energy, and this is a tip to the benevolent king that acts and does grand gestures and is for justice and is for peace. That is even in a woman, a man or a woman, it's identified with the masculine. So if you're a one, you're identified with the masculine. And on the Enneagram, there are 3 spaces. 8, 9, and 1 are the body space. The 2, 3, and 4 are the heart space. The 5, 6, and 7 are the head space. And the 1 is in the body space, meaning that they are really in touch with mostly anger as their primary emotion, because anger comes from a very primal sense, and being in the body sphere, they're more connected with that than anybody. Ones look like they're the most positive and the most good and the most doing, but really it's kind of the opposite. Ones are actually so angry about the world and everything around it that they want to do their part to clean it up, and that's why they do get into these kind of social justice positions, because it's a healthy place, it's a good place to let out their anger. Nobody's going to be mad at them, nobody's going to look bad, nobody's going to look at them as a bad person for being angry about something that's obviously bad. And so they love to fight for a good fight, a good cause. They put their anger into that instead of dealing with it. That's all I've got. I hope you guys liked the Enneagram 1. I hope you like these kind of videos. I may do them again. Of course, I'm going to go back to the old style of video with the first social media and stoicism on different philosophies. I have a lot written down for those. And yeah, thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video.